Hey, buddy. What's up? What's going on? Oh, hello. How are you? Okay. There's Monty. Kismet's been a bad girl, so she's behind the door. Anyway, this is today's update. Look at this. What's gone on? They've taken out that wall. That wall has disappeared. Look at that openness of space. And I'm standing in the living room and I'm looking towards the kitchen, obviously, because that's the kitchen. That's the kitchen. So basically they took the wall out, and they will take this pillar out today and that little angular thing, and as well as another one on the other side. And let me take you into the kitchen and show you what's going on here. Let me see if I can find a good spot here to turn you around so that you're not getting blinded. There we go. So, what was I going to say? Oh yes, the wall. It's gone. Completely disappeared. Just like that. Actually, not just like that. Come on. Like, you know it and I know it. It was a lot of work. Chris and Omar and from Deck Plus, and they did a really good job. They got an LVL in here. I can't remember what that stands for. LVL, literal volume. I don't know. I don't know wood. So basically, I'll turn it around and I'll show you. It's a span. It's basically a beam that's been pressed together. My understanding is that pieces and pieces of plywood over and over and over and over again, bonded together. That actually creates a really, really strong beam, a wood beam. Obviously, if it's plywood. So let me turn you around and show you. In order to support the wall, that which is the load-bearing wall, as you can see, they put this beam in here, right? Now that beam's just being held up by nothing but glue. No, I'm kidding. It's not just glue. There's nails and there's other stuff, and obviously there's these big extra pillars that have been put in, right? Posts, so that they can that'll hold the. Whoops. Sorry, light's really bright there. So there we go. That'll hold the beam in place as well. Not to mention that the post goes onto, apparently, which I didn't realize we have here, but because nobody knew about it until Chris actually found it by going through the flooring, etc. There's an I-beam that runs across the this section here, because there is a wall below us that parallels this particular line here downstairs. And that wall, I guess what sits on top of that wall is an I-beam. And therefore, there's some good support here. There's no load above us other than the roof and the attic, which we don't have anything in other than insulation, as you can see. Right? That's where ceiling cat comes out of. That's right, ceiling cat. I'm kidding. We don't have a ceiling cat. But anyway. That's the whole idea here, is that this will support the will provide support for the roof and the joists running across the house. I feel comfortable with it. I mean, initially I was hesitant because I don't know this type of stuff. We did go to a structural engineer. The structural engineer recommended this type of beam, this LVL, and the posts on either end, because we're going from a distributed load to a pointed load. Look at that. I remembered something. That's something that I didn't know about before. I sort of probably did, but I can't remember my physics. It's from way back in like grade 13 and university, which I didn't do so well in. But regardless, today Chris and Omar are coming back, and they're putting in, I think he said they were bringing drywall and corner bead and stuff to fix up this stuff here, and also to get rid of this thing here. I believe we have Paul coming from our electrician friend Paul, who will be removing and moving this particular fabulous old school dimmer switch from this spot here and moving it over to that wall there, right? Because right now this thing has no power running to it, as you can see. It's powerless. So that was running from that outlet down there. Those outlets down there will be going into the island once the island is here. Islands in the stream. Okay, I sang that yesterday. We're not doing that again. So, regarding the flooring. Oh, I wanted to say, sorry, I'm taking up so much time here. Look, regarding the flooring. You see that spot there? Okay, That's where the old wall used to be, right? Now, we were discussing what we're going to do about the flooring, right? We talked the tile, we talked about other stuff. The problem is, with this particular spot here, and once this beam is removed, is, as you can see, the hardwood floor is old school hardwood floor. It's a thin plank. It's good. It's good, right? But it's old school, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is trying to replace that here and match it up and make it look nice, right? At the same time, we got to find something, or we got to make sure if we're going to put tile, the tile is going to go out to at least here, which extends beyond the line of the wall. So it's going to look a little bit weird from a design perspective. At least that's my understanding. So what we're going to do, I think, based on Leslie's decision, because everybody knows I don't make any decisions here. Anyway, based on Leslie's decision, right, and actually I'm in agreement with it, I'm just kidding, right, we're going to say bye-bye to the old school hardwood, and we're going to lay something down so that the dogs don't go, can't damage it as much, because the old school hardwood, as nice as it is and as beautiful as it would look when it's finished, the problem is these little guys, well, maybe not him so much as Kiz, but when they're running back and forth and getting rambunctious, they're going to chew up that hardwood in that finish, and then every 2 or 3 years anyway, we're going to have to get it refinished. So that's another $2,000, $3,000, and then we got to move out of the place, etc., to get them finished, etc. So we're probably just going to go with, you know, laminate, not cheap laminate, but a laminate that'll take the punishment a little bit better, and go right through the kitchen with it, right, all through here. So we'll have a nice warm feeling inside the whole place rather than maybe tile and hardwood. So that's it for today. I took up way too much of your time. I'm sorry, my apologies, but my understanding was that you guys wanted to see this, and specifically the request from my lovely wife and her friends at her workplace of employ were looking to find out. And I know, because you guys can't resist me. But let me tell you, there's plenty of Dave to go around. Trust me, there's plenty of Dave to go around right here.